So you want new Pokestops, or you want more Pokestops around your area, whether that's your house, whether that's a nearby park, or near your place of work. So you don't get on your Wayfarer account and create more Pokestops. What if I told you that if you do that, your Pokemon Go account will be suspended, possibly banned? Is it worth creating a Pokestop, knowing that you could get banned from playing Pokemon Go? Let's get on with the news. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. It's your boy True Inferno. Today's day is Wednesday, September the 20th. And yes, do not adjust your settings. You did hear that correctly. It is possible that if you get on your Wayfarer account and you submit a Pokestop nomination rather, not only could it be declined, and not only could your Wayfarer account be suspended for like 30 days, but your Pokemon Go account could also be suspended for 30 days as well. Thank you. So, what's going on here? Well, we go turn our attention to Twitter, so check this out. So, a user by the name of Green BV, basically, this was back in August 31st, so this was almost a month ago, ironically enough, basically saying that his account was suspended, Pokemon Go account was suspended for 30 days. So he wondered what happened. And he said the only thing he could imagine, or they could imagine rather, or is it he, is at the Pokestops they requested are gone, but were not approved by some kind of trick. So if we were to scroll down and look at his replies, he's add on to it, to be clear, when stops were going fast, I requested a lot of legit Pokestop rather. They were all gone now in the game, no shady stuff. So, and then he said, so it really is about the stops. So let's take a look at this real quick. So he received this from somebody named Jaden who works with Niantic, basically saying, hello Explorer, we have confirmed that you have been submitting nominations that do not meet our criteria. As a result of this violation, your Wayfarer and Pokemon Go accounts have been suspended for 30 days. We're gonna get more of that in a second. We recommend you review the Wave Spot criteria, and then they post a link there, which we will review in a second, before submitting any more contributions. Note that any further violations can lead to the permanent suspension of your Wayfarer and your Pokemon Go account. So, yeah, just because you may have done something in Wayfarer, your Pokemon Go account will pay the price as well as your Wayfarer account, which is crazy. Now, keep in mind, now granted, obviously it's for Pokemon Go, but keep in mind that there was nothing mentioned about Monster Hunter or NBA All-World, even though that's shutting down real soon, or Pikmin or any other game. It's just Pokemon Go. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Now let's move on to the next thing. So I believe this is, okay, this is Ben replying to Jay, is really Jaden, not Jason, but let's move on. Thank you for reaching out regarding my 30-day suspension. The last 2 days I saw a lot of Pokestops disappear from the game. I believe those stops are actually a valid submission under the criteria hiking trails and markers. During the last Wayfarer challenge, I didn't know that was a thing, I was an active reviewer. I was 130th place. Our community noticed stop requests or Pokestop requests were getting accepted faster than usual. We linked this to a very successful challenge. Our community is about 300 players, not all as active. Only a few of us know how to request and review stops. We asked the whole community to send us locations of stops that are eligible for a nomination. In our village, we have all kinds of sports activities in one place: soccer, tennis, hockey, table tennis. Around those fields is a track that is known as the 3 kilometer route. It actually is 2 to 3 kilometers long, Along this track are also outside sporting equipment. This track has a trail marker every 50 meters. As I live closest to the track, I got assigned to request these stops. I started with the start. Okay, that makes sense. Let's move on. So there's the start. So there it is right there. I did not request all tiles at the same time. I requested about 3 to 4 a day and kept some days in between requesting. I noticed that a fellow Pokemon Go trainer who is not active in our community Discord also started to request some of these tiles. More and more got accepted, and the community was very happy with all these stops on a popular location. People were meeting up to walk the full track, and then let me see, move on. I fully agree that all stops should be removed from the game. Wait, what? Okay. We have stops for bus stops, general electric boxes, a BQQ, and even someone's toilet. Wow, okay. It would be great if those styles can get removed. However, I think an exercise track with trail markers, are a great addition to the game, as proof, or wait, he meant to say prove, but whatever, that these tiles are actually in the road. Here is a selfie of me with the 1,000 meter mark, even though the zero is scratched off, but okay. If this is not the case, I am very sorry. I honestly did not realize this was a violation. I just wanted to help our community by nominating valid submissions. I would never have done it if it could harm my account. Could you please help me restore my account? I would not ever request a Pokestop again to avoid losing my account. I hope you can help me with this. Alright, so I believe this is a reply. Yes, this is a reply from them. Someone by the name of Kevin, so check this out. Hello again. As per our policy, we will not be able to provide any specific information related to this ban, which is stupid because it's his account. Why can't y'all do that? We have thoroughly reviewed your submissions and found that you have been submitting nominations that do not meet our criteria. As a result, we had notified you about it after our investigation. And then they basically said the same thing. Also, I see that you're trying to report an on-game location. Please reach out to our dedicated team using the following link, and they will be able to assist you accordingly. So there you go with that. So what does this mean? There must be something amiss either with the submission or with the Niantic staff who actually reviewed it. Because not only did the first person, Jaden, respond to it, but Kevin did as well. Now I'm not sure if Kevin actually looked at it, but he had to basically that second paragraph when he said, I see that you're trying to report an in-game location. That means he had to seen the email and seen the picture. So he must have reviewed it. So what's going on here? So let's look at another tweet. So this one, I'm not gonna read the name. We're gonna go by running with 4 N's, by the way. And basically, I had this translated. And it said, your Pokemon Go account is currently suspended for 30 days. I apologize to my friends who I wasn't able to contact due to the number of people in my circle. I was planning on to post it after the suspension, but I decided to post it now based on the evidence of the person I've been consulting with and the judgment that any further inquiries would be pointless. And then moving on to the first reply here, or the next reply, saying, I love this game and want to continue, but it was a bit shocking. Please be careful as the following applications, images will be treated as violations. Thank you so much to everyone who sent messages of encouragement and support. So let's take a look at this. So this is a mailbox with Piplup on it. So he submitted that as a Pokestop, which is interesting. And I'm like, well, okay, people, that is a mailbox, and people try to, send mail. Okay, I can to a degree see that, but at the same time, there's a freaking Piplup on the top of this thing. So I don't know about that one. But let's get back to the first one, where dude legit said that not only was his Wayfarer account was suspended, his Pokemon Go was suspended. Which brings us to this post right here, the anti-cheat efforts. So this is on the community.wayfarer.nianticlabs.com forum. There's a forum there, so they got to discuss it more. And this is something that somebody from the Wayfarer staff posted. So we're going to turn our attention to the anti-cheat effort. In the first half of the year, the Ambassadors, Wayfarer team, and many other Niantic teams have partnered to tackle the abuse present in Wayfarer. It is a top priority as it impacts not only Wayfarer in our community, but every player of Niantic games. With this deep cross-functional collaboration, we'll develop new approaches to identify, administer, and prevent abuse from impacting us or in the integrity of the platform as a whole. In the next couple of days, we will act up our new policies and administer consequences for abusive behavior that applies not only to using Wayfarer, but across all Niantic games and products. When this new policy takes effect, it will address not only all new abusers, but will also work retroactively for up to a year. Additionally, over the next couple of months, we will devote a lot of our resources to building new automatic detecting tools. We're excited to see how this new, I'm assuming they're missing the word, this new tool work makes Wayfarer and all Niantic games a better place to explore the world together. As we finalize details and approach different phases of implementing this work, we will share more details and make announcements as we are rolling out this new abuse management process. So there's that. Now, before I move on, let's play Devil Advocate, and this is where Raid Spotters post would come to play. So check out what they said. They said the following. The Wayfarer team announced a while back that they will start to suspend game accounts for egregious or repeated violations of the Wayfarer rules. This is an excellent example of, quote unquote, just because other people are doing it doesn't mean it's okay, end quote, end quote in again. Just because it's in a game doesn't make it eligible, end quote. Past positive activity doesn't preclude losers from repercussions for abuse of the system. However, if they feel they were banned incorrectly, they can file and appeal through the support page. I will say this, they are very thorough with their investigations, so I suspect there's more to this story. So basically, first of all, Raid Spotters or the Raid Spotters podcast, they are not, I'm not 100% sure, but they are related to the Lord of podcast, so take that, you know, how you like. But what I will say is this, by reading this, they are, based on how I read this, they are accusing this guy of basically breaking the rules. That's how I'm looking at it. Now, let's take a look at the rejection criteria. So they do have a rejection criteria. This is on Wayfarer right here. Number 1, does not meet eligibility criteria. Does not seem to be a great place of exploration, place for exercise, or place to be social. The object is mass-produced, generic, or not visually unique or interesting. And then number 2, an eligible location, place, or object. Location is unsafe without pedestrian access. Location is a private residential property, even if it's historical, farmland, a K-12 and under school, preschool, primary, elementary, secondary, high school, you know, basically, you know what, you know the deal. A child care, daycare center, rehabilitation center, safety shelter. Location is an adult-oriented store or services such as a liquor store, shooting range, firearms, and provides sexual and or adult content. Location obstructs the driveways of emergency services or may interfere with the operations of fire stations, police stations, hospitals, military bases, industrial sites, power plants, or air traffic control towers. Location, place, or object is temporarily or highly unlikely to be permanent. Sensitive locations like gravestones and cemeteries. And then take a look at abusive locations, which are intentionally and strategically placed to provide advantage to a single player or collective group. Or location edits that attempt to move the raid spot away from the object with which it's associated. And then, you know, they basically spoofing, you know, things like that. What did I say? Spoofing. There we go. Eligible photos. Photos includes one or more of emojis, tags, or personal identifiable information such as code names, personal names or initials or addresses, copyright material or watermarks, including screenshots of somewhere else's photo, is obviously doctored, including people's body parts or live animals as the subject matter is blurry, over, under, exposed, taken inside a car, contains a watermark, or is improperly oriented. Abusive text description and or photos. So titles, description, and or photos is offensive or objectionable. Includes hate speech against a protected group. Then you got fake nominations. You know, obvious fake nominations due to a combination of abusive behavior such as doctor photos, copy photos, or screenshot photos with generic or falsified titles and descriptions based on your local knowledge of the community. Influencing reviewers. Nominations with content that try to strays and influence votes, such as dropping a code name or code word in the title, description, or photo, or making voting requests in the title, you know, that stuff. And then, of course, live raid spot marked for removal. Any accepted raid spot that has been marked for removal will not be accepted. Any title, description, photo, or location edits. And then, you know, other types of abuse. So there you go with that. Now, looking at this, how does this post, this submission right here, this one right here, falls under this? I could possibly see maybe number 3, because again, a lot of people see a lot of Pokestops around the area, like he said so themselves. So that's a possibility right there. Another possibility could be, I saw something about logos. I think it would be this one right here. So they may say, oh, that's a watermark, even though I doubt that. Or they may say, like, not a personal name or initials. But there's another one that is a part of photos, but I don't remember where it is. But it could be, it's another one. It's somewhere else. I forgot where it is already. But yeah, so it could fall under number 3. It could fall under number 5. But everything else, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So there you have it. And here's the thing about the whole rules in a situation like this. They're subjective. Like, obviously there's some things that are obvious, like, you know, if you put up the middle finger and stuff like that, or if you got a picture of a gun or something like that, then that's obvious. You didn't know. That's obvious. That's something that they don't want in the game. So yeah, that makes sense. But like something like the start tile or the number 1000 or whatever the case may be, I mean, it's subjective to say, oh, what is that? Could that be a code? Like, you really don't know. That could be you just thinking way outside the box. But who knows? He said it himself. Green Bee said it himself. Like, a lot of people submit a lot of requests around that part. So they could look at it and say, oh, hold up, there's a bunch of people submitting stuff here, and a bunch of people are accepting it, and they're probably all from that same area. So that's probably what messed them up. But at the same time, though, to suspend his account in his Pokemon Go, with both Wayfarer and Pokemon Go, that's too much. And this is a first suspense. There it is right here. Was this the first penalty? Like, no 7-day or 3-day? And he said, yeah, this was his first penalty. So for the first penalty to be a 30-day ban on both Wayfarer and Pokemon Go accounts, bruh, I know the raid spotter said, oh, this shouldn't discourage you from submitting. No, don't submit Pokestops. If this is your first offense, don't submit Pokestops. And they've been said to yourself, like, this ain't just for Wayfarer. This is for anything. So if you try to submit Pokestops strictly from Pokemon Go, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you can still do it. Nope, don't do it. Because one of the problem is, like, they're subjective in terms of what's allowed, what's not allowed for the most part. There's no clear, there's no clear documentation that says, oh, if you messed up here, then your first penalty is this. It varies. It varies. Look what happened to what's his name? Brendan Todd. Like, his first violation, he got suspended for 30 days. It wasn't like a 3-day or 7-day when he, you know, did that account thing. It was straight up 30 days. So they vary. So, and then they won't even share with you what's wrong with it. So it's not a learning process. It's like, oh, you guys just figure it out on your own. So it's like, why risk it? Like, there's no point in risking it, because to you submitted a nice, clean, positive Pokestop, but to Niantic, is something wrong with it, and then you could be hit with a 30-day ban on your Pokemon Go account. So it's like, it's not worth it. And then they won't tell you why. It's not worth it. There's no point. I'm encouraging everybody to not submit Pokestops. And they talk about they're gonna add a system, assuming that they haven't done it already. It is not worth submitting Pokestops. It's like, we're not now, and possibly not ever. This got to be cleaned up immediately. You know, the fact that they won't tell you why is a problem. Now, again, they, you know, the raid spotter said, oh, you could submit a ban appeal, but I'm like, how long do you think that would take? Like, their employees are one thing, because, you know, they had the layoff. So even though 2 people did respond to the email within the same day, but if a lot more people submit these stops and they getting banned, yeah, they're not gonna get to your account probably until what? The 3rd week of your suspension, and at that point you got 1 week left to go. But more importantly than that, you missed out on 3 weeks of Pokemon Go. It is not worth it. I don't care. And even if like oh, you know, you can submit a ban appeal, I'm like, it shouldn't even come to that. If you submitted a good, clean, wholesome Pokestop, it should be either accepted or it should be rejected for whatever reason, and then that's it. You shouldn't be banned for 30 days on 2 different accounts, Wayfarer and Pokemon Go, as your first offense. Nope, it's not worth it. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you know, raid spotters can hit me up and say, oh, we don't like the fact that he says, no, I don't care. It is not worth submitting a Pokestop. It's not. Whether it's on Wayfarer, whether it's on Pokemon Go, I don't, even Ingress, I don't care. It's not worth it. Don't do it. I'm letting you know right now, don't do it. And I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know this boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah. Subscribe. Thanks, man. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Lewis the trainer, articulating pain. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they ranking with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show them that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.